there's nothing better with that interaction of going to the pub. Every day you're learning something different. Every day there's a new challenge. And to be fair, they love a drink. You know?
Well, hello there and welcome to the About Small Business podcast. This episode is quite an exciting one for me. I'm actually getting to interview the landlord of my local pub, Crinnions, and I would like to welcome Mark Flood of Crinnions and the Travellers Rest in Durham as well. Mark, thank you very much for coming on.
No problem, Barry. Pleasure. Thanks for having us.
No, absolute pleasure. So, Mark, you're now in a position, you've got two pubs within your empire, your growing empire.
Yeah.
And how did all this start? I believe you've got a background in, obviously, the industry.
Yeah, so I grew up around pubs. My mum we used to run pubs around Durham and Newcastle area. So it was always something that we were always in and around, so there was always a job on the go. We were always washing the dishes, we were always getting in under the chef's feet. And then my brother, I've got an older brother, he decided to become a chef. So he was like the oracle of the family, he was my hero when I was a child.
How much older does that have interest?
He's 5 years older.
Right, okay, so a little bit sufficient a difference that it's not going to be too much rivalry.
No, there wasn't rivalry at all. He looked after us great when we were kids, so when he decided to go in it, I was always going to follow what he done.
Right,
so,
okay.
But then I went off to college, and then I ended up working alongside my mum, and then at one point I think I was working alongside my mum, my brother, my sister.
So a proper family business.
Yeah, that's it.
It sounded interesting actually, because I know from a number of pub families, it's almost very similar to the farming family concept, isn't it? Whereby you're getting involved from a very early age.
Oh yeah.
And sort of learning all elements of the trade.
And it's a great feel because you get to know everybody in different environments and not just your home life. So you get so like now I would say my mum's my best friend. I've worked with her for years. I call her Kaz. I don't even call her mum half the time. So used to all the lads calling her. So it's always been good fun.
Right. So in terms of when you started, you went to school, obviously. Yeah. Was that a pleasant experience or not really?
I wasn't particularly academical. I managed to get through it. I didn't do too bad, but it wasn't for me. So then I decided I would go to catering college.
Right.
And I'd done 6 months of that. It was just a classroom. I couldn't do it, so I just went and got an apprenticeship with a local restaurant, and I just worked side by side with the chefs and built up from there.
So academia is not for you, much more hands-on.
Yeah.
So when you were growing up, was it something that you were always fond of, like the kitchen side of it? Because obviously within the pub trade, there's a number of areas.
Kitchen was always for me. It's a happy place. Still is. Still like to get back, put the whites back on and get behind the stove and just give it a go and just forget everything, and it's peace.
Right, and so you got was it an official apprenticeship or just
it was an official apprenticeship.
And how long did that last for you?
And I'd done 2 years at that.
Right.
But like in any job, you can get your qualifications, you're still nowhere near qualified really. You've got to have proper experience, proper kitchens.
Now, I mean, that is quite an interesting one for me, because I do enjoy cooking for the family.
Yeah.
What's the big difference? Because, I mean, we hear that on a lot of the chefing programmes, it's totally different.
For one, it's the quantity.
Yeah.
And to be fair, are you bothered if your wife has a bad meal? Don't care as much, but you're bothered about paying customers. And it is just quantity and keeping the end pressure. And it's different orders. If you're cooking for your family, you're all getting the same meal. You could have 10 different orders on 10 different varieties of meals, and you just got to keep your head and just keep going.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. It is completely different.
If someone was wanting to kind of follow this path, what are the main aptitudes they realise they've got? I mean, because like for some people they enjoy working with their hands, which I suppose to a degree is same for you.
Yeah, but you've got to have a bit of calmness about you. You can't be flustered. You've got to.
Really?
You are flusted's no good. You've got.
That's not the impression you get on TV.
No, you're right. It is. It's almost like I always got taught of a guy. I work with him now because he's an old boy. He's 76. He's still working for us as chef, and he always told us there's a difference between good chefs and bad chefs. The bad chefs stop and moan.
Right.
The good chef continue and moan. So they'll just work through it and keep going through it and just stay calm, twist about it, but still get the job done. Or a bad chef will just stop.
I suppose, to be fair, that's a reasonable
Yeah,
thing
it's
to apply to
yeah,
most industries.
of course
It's
it
just, everyone's entitled to a bit of a moan, but it's just, at the end of the day, you have to kind of get
See
on,
the
don't
job
you?
through, don't you?
Yeah. Since we brought it up, the sort of TV chefs, I mean, what were your feelings on that? Is that something you thought maybe I could be
No, I'm not for TV. This face isn't pretty enough for TV.
So, but I mean, in terms of the impression it gave of your industry, what were you?
Yeah,
thoughts on it?
probably. Well, I mean, if you're going back maybe 15, 20 years, yeah, it was probably fitting, really. It was aggressive. You
Yeah.
were always getting shouted at. But times have changed now.
Yeah.
You can't be shouting and bawling in the kitchen all the
Did that
time.
happen to you a lot?
Oh yeah, of course it did. Yeah,
Yeah.
Had some great experiences. Done us no harm, but obviously now times are different. You
Yeah.
can't go on like that.
Is it?
Frying pans, toy dadders.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose frying pan things like that. You start throwing things, and possibly you do risk police.
No, well, of course you do. Yeah.
So what changed?
Society.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in your view, you think it's for the better?
Oh, without a doubt, without a
Yeah.
doubt. You shouldn't go to work feeling intimidated, which a lot of young chefs did, and
Yeah.
then they always end up turning to drink, and it doesn't end well.
If you're enjoying this content, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to let you know exactly when another podcast's going to drop. Yeah, 'cause I think that's the other thing, isn't it? So
Yeah.
when you're working in that environment, you're never very far away from drink
Oh
as well.
no, chefs think they're rock stars. A lot of them, they do.
Yeah.
Honestly, they do. They like to party all night and work all day.
Yeah. And I mean, the hours are pretty intense out there
of
as well.
course they are. They are intense, but it's worth it.
What is it that makes it worth it, though, for you?
I don't know. I just get an enjoyment out of cooking. I enjoy people liking me food.
Yeah.
And satisfaction.
You've got your apprenticeship then.
Yeah.
You were there, I think you said 2 years it was?
Yeah.
Right. So what then? What after your apprenticeship?
So then I started working with a couple of local chefs in a couple of busy restaurants. I went to work with my mum up the mill house up at Bertley. Well,
Right.
so I've spent a couple of years up there, and then I decided I'd done quite enough in the pub restaurant, so I wanted to go into hotels.
Right.
So I ended up getting a job down at Lumley Castle.
Was there more prestige from that? Was it?
Yeah, it was. It was a lot harder. Obviously, you had a bigger team. You all
Yeah.
had your jobs to do. You had to follow. There was no shirkers. You couldn't get away with hiding.
Yeah.
It took a couple of months to get used to it, but once I settled in, I thrived. I loved it.
Would it be better money at a place like that?
Eventually, not at the time. I think I took a little bit of a pay cut to go there,
Okay.
but I knew for the long term.
So
it
for
was
long
better.
term. So invest in yourself to
Course.
get that sort of experience
Yeah.
of a.
But it was a bigger team. There was a team of maybe 14, 15 chefs on a daily basis in the kitchen. So, but it was good. It was good fun.
So obviously, apart from the size of the team, the atmosphere, and was that very much different from the pub?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there was a lot of camaraderie. If you've got a good team, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
If there's a bad apple.
Right.
I was very lucky when I was at Lumley Castle. The atmosphere was fantastic.
That's because it's interesting. You just mentioned a bad apple, but you say you didn't have one there. So how does that affect the overall dynamic then?
'Cause you'll always get one that bitches about the other, and they'll always get in each other. Then you'll turn against each other. It's just not worth it.
I'm assuming that really can't work particularly
No,
well.
it doesn't. It doesn't.
So-
'Cause everyone's got a job to do. It's all about timing.
Yeah.
So if you've got, say, like on a pass, if you've got three lads cooking at the same time, you've got one on fish, one on sauce, one on the... It's all got to come together. So if you're not on the same wavelength, it's not going to work.
Right. So you've got to kind of have a laugh by the sounds of it.
Course
I
you
mean,
do.
or certainly that sounds
Yeah.
like your experience. You've
Yeah, you
enjoyed it. You've had a laugh with a bunch of lads that you get on with.
We're going back 20 years. I still talk to most of them now.
Any experiences that you've had where you did have one,
Oh.
maybe two bad apples? That,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, you'll always get that sort of thing, but if you just separate yourself, keep yourself to yourself.
Yeah. In that kind of situation, did you find yourself moving on, or was it the bad apple being managed out?
The bad apple always gets managed out.
Right.
You just got to bide your time. They'll always get found out.
Yeah. Is it a case of like sort of they'll get sick and move on, they get fired?
Yeah, that's exactly it. They'll get fired.
Yeah.
They will. You can see it a mile off, It's pointless getting worked up and having to go and getting yourself stressed, because at the end of the day, I always think people get what's coming to them,
I mean, to be fair though, that's quite a mature attitude. Is that something that you had as a youngster?
Yeah, I think I've always had a level head. I've always thought
Yeah.
about things before reacting. I don't just react. I like to think about things and think of the bigger picture and how to get results without shouting and bawling and stuff like that.
Right, that's interesting and quite impressive, to be fair.
I'm a deep thinker.
Deep, why not, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, roughly how many sort of places did you work before you?
Oh, probably 12. But see the mill house that we're washing, I always end up going back to there.
Right.
So I always...
what is it about that place?
Well, my mum worked there, like I say, my brother worked there, my
So just
friends worked there. It was a good job, it was good food, and you always had a good laugh. So I went out, I was at Hardwick Hall in Sedgefield, I was head chef down there when I was 26.
Wow.
I was down around Ramside for a couple of years.
So some quite prestigious hotels under your
Oh
belt,
yeah,
then.
yeah, but I enjoyed it. It was good fun. It was good to have on your CV at the time.
Yeah.
And then I took bad, so I ended up stepping back for a little bit and going part time. So I ended up back up at the mill to build myself back up into full time work.
Right, okay. We never, because I mean, most of the places that you've mentioned are in and around the northeast.
Yeah.
You've pretty much covered, from your family pubs to some of what I think most people would agree were among the most prestigious hotels in the area.
Yeah, at the time, yeah, they were.
So we never tempted to go further afield.
No, I'm mummy's boy. It's simple as that.
Simple as that, just like
couldn't leave me, mum.
No. Wow. It's I mean, fair enough. I mean, some people want to sort of get out and do the travelling.
Oh, no, fair play to them. Like, I actually wish I had the stones to do it, but I haven't. That's totally it.
I'm sure your mum would be pleased to hear.
Oh,
that.
no, sure she will be, yeah.
That's great. So, you basically, you've certainly got a broad range of experience in different eateries across the area. At what point did you think, right, okay, I've been working for other people, it's time to start looking for something for myself?
I think from 15, 16, I think it was always in us that I wanted to work for myself. I knew one day I would want my own pub.
I know, and just to interrupt you there, because my understanding is that a lot of chefs are freelance. Was that what you were doing, or were you salaried?
I've done a bit of both. I've salaried and I've done freelance. I've done everything really.
Pretty much everything in the kitchen.
Of course, yeah. So then I think it was always in his way I wanted to work for myself. It was just waiting, getting the right opportunity, and I just hung on. I like to say I've got Crohn's, so I didn't have the best health for a certain period of time. So that set us back a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then when the right opportunity came, I just grabbed it with both hands.
So you built this career whilst managing Crohn's?
Yeah.
Because I mean, for anyone that doesn't know, it's quite a
I've
significant
of what it is. Yeah, I think I've had 6 operations on my stomach. So
wow.
I've had a stoma bag on. I've had a stoma bag off. But you kind of give up. You just got to keep going.
No, but I mean, you're still smiling. From what I know of you, certainly you always come across as a pretty happy person.
I am,
and kind of getting on with things.
Yeah, you've got to.
But to sort of achieve what you've achieved with that condition as well, that's quite a significant achievement, I would say.
Yeah.
Is it something that you think about? Because I mean, I suppose you've never really been in a situation where it's not been.
No, I don't think
there
about it. I just every day.
It's just your life, and you just kind of make it work.
Yeah, I've just adapted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fair play to you for that.
No, like I don't get upset. I don't get disheartened by having Crohn's. I've got 3 beautiful children. I've got a great partner, and I've got 2 businesses. It's irrelevant, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah, no, it is. But what a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
And, inspirational for other people that are in that similar situation. So,
Yeah.
So in terms of working for yourself, what was your first foray? At what point? How old were you?
So I've only been working for myself for just over 2.5 years. I went down and I seen some friends who had a pub at the Belmont, Travellers Rest at Belmont.
Travellers Rest at Belmont.
And they were looking to sort of retire and step back. Would I be interested? And I just thought, why not?
Yeah.
Just why not?
Simple as that.
Yeah, just went for it. Didn't have to think twice about it. Just said yeah.
Was it something that required a significant investment on your part?
It was all right, but we structured it well. It worked. Like I say, it helped being friends with the previous owners who continued to work for me for some time after. So I got a lot of help, and it just sort of went from there. Really, I thoroughly enjoy it.
So, in terms of when you first started working for, what were the main differences that you felt?
Well, there was no sickies. You know, you can't hide. You've got to be there. You've got to show. You've got to set your standards high of when you're in, so
Yeah.
then everyone follows suit. I'm not a believer in, oh, I'm the boss, I don't have to do this. You've got to muck in. You've got to work just as hard, or if not harder.
Yeah.
There's never a day off. There's no excuse. You know, you can't just say, I'll do it tomorrow. You've got to do it there and then. But it's just a great feeling working for yourself. You know, you're not answering to anybody. You know, but I think you work harder for yourself.
You do, but I think there's more of a sense of purpose there, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, you're doing it. The end product's better.
Yeah, it's all for you. It's I suppose you're building something. Aren't you?
Yeah.
And it's that whole putting something together that's something that you can point to and say, I did that.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I think I like to please people. I like people that like us. I like to. You know, I just like the interaction with people, so it's just brilliant.
I suppose chefing's great for that as well, isn't it? Because if you feed people, give them a good meal, then what better way to put someone in a good mood?
No, yeah, you can ruin the day as well.
This is true. Have you had many incidents like that?
Oh well, you always get mistakes. Always happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do. You can ruin someone's day. I do think people go over the top, and especially nowadays because everybody's a keyboard warrior and they're straight on social media.
Yeah. Do you find that's a big issue?
Yeah, I do.
I
do. Don't get us wrong. Social media can be a great platform for your business.
Yeah.
If it's done in the right way, but not everybody does it in the right way. You know.
No. So I mean, how do you deal with keyboard warriors?
You've just got to take it on the chin, haven't you? You just You know, there's pointless getting upset about it.
You don't argue back.
No, I don't. Now and again, I'll have a little bite, but no, I don't. I don't see the point. You know, if you're not happy, it's as simple. You don't come back, do you?
Yeah, I mean that's true. But I mean, hopefully you get enough people.
1,000,000%. We're doing it all right. Yeah, we do get we're great support.
So in terms of you're at the Belmont, your pub in Belmont, Travellers Rest, and was food always a big part of the of the establishment? And we know obviously you've done all sorts of things there. You've put on live music. You've tried to do different events and nights there and things. You're then in a situation you've been there a while, and then obviously anyone that lives in the village of Lanchester will know that Crinnions sadly shut its doors.
It did. I was actually working there when it shut its doors.
Right, I was going to say, because I think you were a chef there.
I was. I'd been there a couple of years, and it was sad. And to be honest, when I got my first pub, I always said I'd never have another one. Yeah, it would have to be something ridiculous to tempt us to get another one.
Just so I'm clear, you were at the Travellers, but were you also working at the Crinnions?
No, I was working at Crinnions, then I left.
And then you left,
and then I took over the Travellers.
Travellers, right? Okay. After. It was during the time that Crinnions was shut that you were then over at the Travellers, right?
Yeah. Then I spoke to the landlord, and we had a conversation, and quite quickly, I think we were on the same page of what we wanted, and it just snowballed really quickly. To be fair, but it would only be Lanchester that would have tempted us to get another pub at the time.
What was it about Lanchester?
Well, I've been in and about the village because, like I say, I've spent time working at the Kings in the past. I've worked at Crinnions for a couple of years. It's just a proper village, isn't it? You know, it's got some great people in it. And to be fair, they love a drink. You know, they love a drink. So it was only going to be Lanchester.
So I mean, this is quite interesting then, because I mean, it's at no point during our conversation so far have you mentioned any sort of financial incentives. Is this the whole project, is it all about passion for you?
Yes, 1,000,000%. Don't get us wrong, we all like to make money, but financially I'll survive regardless. Yeah, I just want to do a good job, and I want to do the best.
And absolutely fair play. Crinnions has come along. Yeah, you've worked there, and you love the village. And was it a case? Was that a significantly bigger risk, given that you've just taken on the Travellers? Not too.
Yes, it was. It was a bigger risk. I think at the time it shut, because I believe there was only a shelf life of a pub being shut to reopening. Yeah. That you have to take the opportunity. And Crinnions was kind of a year and a half, I believe. maybe
yeah, I think
slightly longer. But I think it was on the verge of going by the wayside sort of thing.
yeah.
So we had to act quickly and we had to get it open as quick as possible to keep the interest going.
Because I mean, it is a well-loved pub in the village.
Brilliant.
How's it compared to the Travellers?
Oh, it's completely different.
So
It's
go on.
completely different. So you've got the Travellers we do a great Sunday lunch. You've got some great characters that come in the bar regularly. I would say the Crinnions is like sort of completely different, as in they want more finer stuff, you know. The lads are happy if they're getting a £2 pint on special down at the Travs, you know.
So different clientele.
Definitely.
Okay. And how do you? What's the difference to you then? Is it sort of more enjoyable down at the Travellers?
I enjoy both, to be fair. I enjoy both, but for completely different reasons. I enjoy the Travellers because on an afternoon you get the horse racing on and the lads are all in, you know.
Yeah.
And I suppose the Travellers, for me, it's a little bit of escapism because when you go into the Travellers, it doesn't matter how bad your day is,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter what you've gone through, there's no hiding place. Because if you look sad or you're feeling sorry for yourself, the lads, they will ham you. They will give you so much stick, you'll forget about it. So that's what I quite like about the Travellers. It's the escapism from what goes on in the day-to-day world. And I like Crinnions because it's got a nice feel about it. I like the customers there, but you know, you're not going to get swore at, you're not going to get called names. So it's just completely different, but for the right, it's two personalities.
It's interesting that you've got those two pubs though, and that you're kind of enjoying them equally.
Yeah.
Because just from what I've seen of both, that they are very different. I mean, the Travellers, dare I say it, it's probably a more traditional blokes pub in many ways. Is that fair?
Yes, to an extent, yeah. I mean, the good thing about the Travellers on that score is, yes, the bar is very, you could say it's more of an old man's pub sort of thing, but the restaurant's completely separate, so you don't even walk in the same door, which helps massively, you know, so you don't, people who are dining don't feel like they're walking into a man's pub sort of thing. So it just kind of works well that way.
So you've got the sections
you
there.
Them, yeah.
Yeah, and Crinnions, I know certainly you've quite a number of the offers that you've had on. I think we could, you know, without being accused of sexism, we could say possibly would appeal to a more female demographic, like you do sort of quite a variety on the gins and things like that, Prosecco
possibly.
Days, and I know certainly sort of historically it's been popular for like sort of baby showers and things like that.
Yeah.
And
which is fair.
It's is that something that you've thought about? And
no, I never thought that much into it, to be fair, but obviously I knew the market of Crinnions was completely different to the Travs. I knew the baby showers would go down well. I know the gins would go down well. I knew the bottomless brunch sort of thing. So yes, sort of tracks the female market.
I mean, this is interesting that you say you've not thought about it that deeply. But you're clearly aware of the difference in the pubs.
Yeah.
How are you approaching the two differently then?
Well, I think it's just down to the personality, isn't it? So, like I say, I feel like sometimes I've got a split personality. You go down the Travs and you fit. But I think I just adapt to the situation. So it's quite easy to go down the Travs and have a big crack with Joe Bloggs behind the bar.
Yeah.
And then you go to the Crinnions and you've just got to switch straight away and professionalism straight on. But in fairness, I'm probably doing Crinnions a bit unjust because it's got some characters in Crinnions and you can just go. There's a few lads that come in and people that come in you can just have your normal conversations with. You know, you don't have to pretend to be something you're not.
I mean, the Travellers. Then it sounds like you kind of continued.
Yes,
the good work
Definitely.
that was put in place by the people that had it before.
Massively good work.
So that in some ways. I mean, I don't want to say easy because it's not easy. None of that works easy. But at least you kind of know what you're doing. No. With Crinnions, as you've already mentioned, you've taken on a pub that's got quite a legacy.
Correct.
Quite a major standing in the village, and like the name of the family that have been here for time memorial.
Massively.
Did that present any challenges for you?
It did. You've got to live up to their name, and to be fair, like I say, I work for them. Obviously, Paul Crinnion's a good friend of mine. I still speak to Paul now. Like, lovely guy. I love working for him.
Were they happy to continue with the name?
Yeah, And he was happy that it was me that was continuing
Yeah.
with his name, you know, because like I say, we get on great. So it was that was a bit easy, but then obviously people always like, oh, it used to be a butcher's, why we haven't got the meat hanger, and you think, well, them days are gone. We've got to move on. Like everything changes. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But we all get there for the right reason. We're all doing it for the right reasons.
Absolutely. I mean, it's interesting actually because your mantra appears to be just get on with people.
Yeah.
And it does seem to have kind of served you pretty well in terms of your first opportunity at the Travellers, because you got on well with the previous owners.
Yeah.
They've been happy to trust you with their legacy to carry that on, and you've been happy to do that. And then there are clearly connections, obviously, at Crinnions.
I just think it's easier getting on with people than not. Like I'm not into all this village war thing or rivalry with different pubs. Like I say, I've got a great relationship with the Kings.
Yeah, I'm going to say the other major pub in the village. That you all seem to get on really well.
The brilliant girls. We like to go there for a drink on a Sunday. And they come over to us sometimes, and we'll help each other if they need something, if we need something. The first person in your rings. The Kings,
Yeah, which is great, isn't it? Because I mean, sort of a lot of time people do think about it's competition.
Yeah,
but it's I think to me, from a customer perspective, it's lovely to have somewhere where you can go where you've got more than one option. You can vary your night.
Oh, 1,000,000%, and it's like I always think if we go from Crinnions, we're going to the Kings, and they'll say, "Oh, you've been over Crinnions?" Like, yeah, like. I don't want that. That's one thing we always decided we're never going to have. Like, oh, you've beaten the Kings. Like, no, great. We'll go to the Kings.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time we've gone on the Sunday. Oh, let's go to the Kings. Well, every Sunday we're in the Kings.
So basically, collaboration is better than competition.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
You say of course it is, but it's interesting. So many people don't think like that.
You are right. They don't. But like I say, I like to keep that. I like to help everybody out. Like. I've got the chippy up the road, great chippy. I love the lads up the chippy as well, So there's a lot of good. Andy, the veg man, we use local veg.
It's do you have anything like that over in Belmont? Any of the sort of the relationships?
Not quite. There's the pub around the corner hasn't long been open.
Have they reached out to you for help or advice? Or?
We've had a conversation. A couple of times, to be fair, and I have popped in for a couple of pints, and he has popped into mine for a couple of pints, but no, it's not quite the same as Lanchester. It's different. I don't think the help's quite there.
No, maybe not. I suppose. I mean, fundamentally, you're in Durham. It's a bigger place as well. Of course,
it is.
As opposed to the village.
If he wanted anything off us, he could just ring us, and I would give him it. But he doesn't, so I don't bother him. So
it's horse for course, isn't it?
Of course, it is.
I suppose that sort of different vibe that you've thought about.
And I think. Obviously, the difference as well is, you're right. You can get a bus from Belmont into Durham within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So there's not that circuit that there is in Lanchester. Like go to the Kings, go to Crinnions, go up to the club. So you're not really, you don't get that circuit.
So you've got a decent bus service to get you into Durham, but it's
no, of course, but.
It's not every night as well. Like, so we got caught out once where I think we were out on a sort of Tuesday or Wednesday, and the last bus was 9 o'clock or something. So your night's cut short.
You wouldn't go down and have a full night out really between the Travs and the Belmont, And I also thought the customers are completely different. So if you go to the Travs, you don't go to the Belmont.
Yeah.
So then there's not that relationship between the two much.
Right.
Whereas if you go to the Kings, you go to Crinnions, you go to the club.
And it's just part of your night out.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's and a very nice one it is too. So going back to, I suppose, the whole business concept then, you said you always wanted to work for yourself. Yeah. But there's not really sort of financial incentive. What was it about working for you? Was it just the level of control that you've got over your life? Yeah, and it was also, I like the standing, like, I was young as a head chef at 26 in a 4-star hotel, and I like me standing. I like to, I've done well. This is what it was. So it was always about just doing well for myself. Yeah. Looking around and going, right now I work for myself. Sort of that sense of self-satisfaction, feeling that you've achieved something. Yeah. I mean, achieve something, because my mum always says, I'm proud of you. And a couple of people say, you've done well, but I'm nowhere near finished. So what are the plans moving forward then? I would like another one, but Caroline wouldn't. Caroline's your partner, obviously.
She is, yeah.
Watching,
She obviously she's the face of Crinnions. She's their daily runner.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant job she does as well, by the way.
Absolutely, yeah. So, so you would like another one, she wouldn't.
Yeah,
Who do you think's going to win that argument?
probably me. No, I'm not so sure.
I don't know. I think if things are sort of ticking along nicely for the
That's
two.
exactly it. I think we'll probably wait till the kids get a little bit older,
Yeah.
and then we'd look at it again.
So, because how old are you now?
38.
You're 38, so that is quite, 2 pubs by 38 is pretty good going.
Yeah, it's a bit older than I wanted to do originally.
Yeah.
But for different, obviously for health reasons, it took us a little bit longer to get there, but I still got there. And I just think I'll not be satisfied until I get both pubs completely right of how I want it, because obviously it's always a learning process, isn't it? Every day you're learning something different. Every day there's a new challenge.
What's the biggest lesson you think you've learnt then from, because I mean you've been around pubs all your life, what's the biggest lesson that you think you'd learned if someone come to you asking for advice?
Good question. My biggest, I would always tell people, no matter what you do, just take a couple of hours to think about it before you answer in every decision you make, whether it's for your tills or your customers or anything. Just think about what you're doing before you. Don't rush into anything.
So not, because I mean you're not a reactionary person yourself, are you? And that's clearly served you well.
Yeah, I would say so. And it's just about being a genuine person, isn't it? Like, I've done well in my career. I could go about any job I've ever had.
Yeah.
Because I've never left on bad terms.
I was going to say that's quite an interesting thing about you. It's like sort of just from you talking about every job you've been in. It's been, I mean, you've mentioned like very, very occasionally there's been some bad apple, we called it, and they've moved on. But fundamentally, your position has been solid and it's worked well.
Yeah.
And just going on your philosophy for life, really, sort of working as best you can to get on with who you want.
Oh yeah,
and to carry on. Is that something you think everyone can do, or do you think it's just sort of certain personalities?
I would say it's certain personalities. To be fair, people are a lot more fiery than what I am to an extent. Like Caroline, for instance.
Have you ever been in a situation where you've really lost your rag, though?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, a few times. I'm the type of person where if you push us too far, then there's no going back.
Right.
But it takes us a long time to get there.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So, in terms of your future, you'd like another pub.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be in this area as well? Or
I wouldn't go away from Durham.
Right, so it's all going to be in Durham.
Yeah.
Actually, let's break this down, because I mean there are 2 elements to your job. You're still involved in the chef in the food, which is the passion that you started with.
Yeah. How
is that different from managing the pubs?
I think it's just something I really, really enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, when you're starting out in your career and you want, it's something you really want to do. Like, you choose to be a chef. You don't choose to be a manager. So no one chooses to do the paperwork side of things, do you? Yeah. So the kitchen for me is my escapism. I love it.
Yes.
It's just my passion. And that's the difference.
And the business side of things just kind of takes care of itself.
You've got to do that bit, yeah.
That's fair enough. And I think we have to bring up the topic of the number of pubs in the country that are closing at the minute.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, given that landscape, that I don't think is any secret, you seem really remarkably upbeat. And I'm not just talking about now, anytime I see you, you seem just really positive. Now, I think to an extent, that's about your personality and a way that either you are or you've chosen to be. But does it worry you when you look at that?
Yeah, of course it's a worry. But there's always going to be a market, whether you've just got to have the right product that you're pushing.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of pubs shutting and they haven't done much wrong, but I just think there's still a market out there, and all you got to do is just push through it and keep going.
People want to go out.
Keep being positive. Yeah, that's exactly it. You do. No one's going to sit as much as we all do our gardens up now to have a beer in the summer in them. There's nothing better with that interaction of going to the pub.
I think that's the crucial thing, isn't it? Which we're kind of missing a lot as a society. Sort of post lockdown, we've never really kind of got.
We haven't
properly back to it.
No, we haven't. But yeah, it's a worry, but it's at the back of my head, because I just think if you push on and keep doing what you're
Yeah.
doing and always trying to stay ahead of the market, you'll do well.
Do you think that the pub itself is integral? Because I mean, there's been a lot of talk about like sort of British values and that kind of thing. Do you think the pub's integral to that?
Massive. I think because like you say, it's a place to go on a night time once you've had that hard day and you want to forget it, and you see different people and you get different stories.
I think,
and
like you mentioned
people.
earlier on, as well. It's like, so if you're having a bad day, and then you can go. You're going to have a bit of a chatter with the lads and things like that, and it's
1 minute. It's integral to the communities, isn't it? The pubs, they can't go under.
Yeah.
It's a shame that so many shutting.
If you were in charge of the country or whatever, what do you think that the country needs to do to save the pub?
Oh, well, I would sort the VAT out for a start.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause, I mean, we're on different VAT. I think supermarkets pay 5% on their alcohol tax and we paying 20. You know, and it's like they're making 50 million plus weekly profits. We're not.
I do think something needs to be done about the
do I.
supermarket drink. I mean, it was quite a radical move. I did wonder if they'd banned it from supermarkets. And then, because I mean, I know not everyone is aware of this, but if someone leaves your pub and either hurts someone, then there is some law that means that if you've served them too much, knowingly, you're liable. Now, I've thought, well, if that's the case, because supermarkets, to my knowledge, don't have that.
No, they don't.
So to me, it's like if you're an off licence or a pub, just sell the alcohol there.
Yeah, you can do what you
and
want.
Then that way it's like, so, well, okay, well, you've got to put things in place. Landlords can then take that responsibility really seriously, and then it kind of limits, because I think, I mean, well, youngsters have been doing it for a while. It's like, the pre-drinks will get drunk before they go out.
Yeah.
And then they come to you, and you can't reasonably be because you don't know what they've drank before.
No, you can't.
Or
you can't. You've got to wait for. But that's it. You've got to be reactive instead of proactive, haven't you? Because you're also waiting for them to fall down to say, right, you can't have any more.
And no one ever likes being told that either, do they?
No, not at all. Because they're not rational, are they, when they've had a drink?
No, not at all.
But you're right, though. The pre-drinks or whatever goes on before you come out is the biggest problem in pubs, I think, throughout the country. Yeah.
It's I mean, have you had much trouble in either of your pubs?
No, not particularly. Little bits, but not. I wouldn't say anything major.
Do you think that's because you've got a fairly relaxed atmosphere? Do you think that vibe comes over the pubs?
Yeah, I do. I would like to think so anyway. But I think people know there's boundaries.
Yeah. And they stop there.
Yeah.
So, in terms of like sort of the pub itself, then, do you think the future is going to be, as you've done, linking it with the restaurant?
Yes. Yeah, I do. The food's massively important, isn't it, in your restaurant?
Yeah, it's because it's interesting. I do remember. Obviously, I'm a little bit older than you, but I do remember when I was a kid, there was talk about just basically having tablets instead of meals, and it been this way forward. And it's like, well, that kind of, that's never happened that way. There was never any desire for it to happen, because it's like your meal is something that you enjoy.
Oh, of course.
And it's and again, like sort of my family, one thing I'm quite proud of is that we do sit around a table for a meal every day. We're not sat in front of TVs, and it's that time that you get with your family, that you talk and communicate, and I suppose with your pub stroke restaurant, you're kind of providing that.
Oh yeah, it's priceless, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is priceless. You don't. No one goes to the restaurant just to sit down and have a meal, do they?
Yeah.
They go down there because they want it to be an occasion. You'll meet people that you haven't seen for a long time, and that's when you catch up over a nice meal and a bottle of wine. It's massively important, and we've just got to keep that going.
And it's the time out as well, isn't it?
Of course it is.
That's special time that you're taking to get a meal that's nicely cooked for you. You don't need to argue about, because that is one issue that we've got. It's like sort of teenagers rushing off to avoid any clearing up or
yeah, I know I've got a house full of them.
But I mean, that's that is why I think the good pubs and good restaurants should still thrive, and and hoping that they do.
Yeah, no, I do as well. But like I say, the government need to step in and because everybody's just got you by the short and curlies, haven't they?
Yeah.
Sky, you put football on, but you're getting charged through the roof for your subscriptions on that.
I think the thing is, I mean, even business bank accounts.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I mean, like sort of my bank account was, we're now changing our terms and conditions. We're going to be charging you every month to put your money with us, and it's just every little thing.
It's like you put money in the bank and you lose £1 for putting it in.
Yeah.
You think, well, what's the point of the bank?
I know, it's crackers. Interestingly, I do remember when everything started going direct debit and things like that. I remember my dad saying that was exactly what was going to happen. He's exactly right.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, but on to more positive things. Things do look sort of well for your pubs at the minute.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that that's going to continue indefinitely. Obviously, you are one of the main pubs in my village, and so it's looking great for you. Any advice that you would give to someone thinking about starting?
Just go for it.
Just go for it.
Just go for it. You can learn as you go.
And that's it. Just go for it. Do your thing.
Yeah.
And fantastic. Well, Mark, this has been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks
I know things are going to continue. I think your attitude is fantastic, and I think knowing a little bit more about you will provide inspiration to the next generation of young chefs and young pub owners. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks
Cheers.
for having us. It's been great.